let's talk about those 3 big mistakes that most creators make. The number one mistake that most creators make is boring first seconds. The average person decides whether to keep watching your video in just 2.7 seconds, not 10, not 5, it's less than 3 seconds. Yet most creators waste this critical window with slow intros, logos, or rambling setups. By the time that you get to your point, your audience is already gone. The top creators know that the first sentence needs to create an immediate curiosity gap, something that makes it impossible not to keep watching. Mistake number 2, it's focusing on features instead of the emotions. Here's the brutal truth. Nobody cares about your fancy camera work or even your unique perspective. Until you make them feel something, most creators list features and benefits thinking that's enough. But viral content doesn't transfer information, it transfers emotion. The videos that spread like wildfire on social media, on Instagram, on YouTube, they hit specific emotional triggers. Think about it like surprise, validation, hope, or fear. They make viewers think, I need to share this with someone specific in my life, my significant other, my friend, whoever it is. Mistake number 3 is inconsistent storytelling structure. This is the big one. The difference between an amateur and professional creators isn't talent, it's really the structure. Viral videos follow specific narrative patterns that are proven to maintain attention. Things like the negative underdogs, unexpected reversals, and mission accomplished sequences. Most creators reinvent the wheel with every video instead of using these battle-tested formulas. And so today, I'm going to show you exactly how to identify these patterns and then use them inside of your own content. One of the first things that we're going to cover, we just covered the mistakes. We just now have a good understanding of where things sit. And so we're going to show you how you could actually take any video that you found or your own video in order to determine, will it go viral? Will it spread to wider audiences? Does it have the right structure that you need in order for that piece of content to perform? And the one thing that I've always talked about is when you see content that's worked already, grab that strategy. The formula is already there. Once it's there, it's on repeat. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead. What I do is I went onto YouTube and I found a video that went pretty viral. And guess what? The video is about how to go viral. This one's got 108,000 likes alone on YouTube, which means views are probably in the almost a million. You see, almost a million views right here. So I'm going to go into Alphana. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to click create. And we're going to go ahead and add the YouTube video. And we're going to drop that link right inside of Alphana. Because what we want to do is we want to import this video so that we can analyze it to understand how the structure is performing. And I'm going to show you some new goodies that we have in Alphana that you could take advantage of so that you could determine the structure and how your content performs. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one import. I just imported this video from YouTube so that we can take that into Alphana, and I'm going to go ahead and now select a template. I have a template that we'll be publishing called Viral Video Toolkit. This is going to allow you to decode viral success from any video in minutes. So when I select this, I don't need to edit the transcript. I'm going to go ahead and just hit generate. What's cool about this is that there's 4 key things that we are going to be able to pull up and be able to analyze from this video. We're going to get a little bit more analytical, and we're going to leverage AI and Alphana to be able to extract the information that we need. And right now we are transcribing the video, and there's 4 things that you'll see that it's working on right now with our AI. Number 1 is we're going to generate a virality score so that you could determine, hey, what's the potential and the likelihood of this spreading around? A viral video analyzer. It's going to analyze everything about the video to break down that structure for you. We've got a viral hook decoder, right? What is the hook in the video and how are we going to decode that? And then we're going to try to copy the voice and the style to be able to extract that information. And here we go. This video reached a score of 85 out of 100. And just like we know inside of Alphana, everything generates in real time. It starts breaking down the strength, the content structure, the audience, and we're going to let this run so we can get a comprehensive look of what the score looks like, the analyzer, and everything all about it. Like, look at this, all of this happening in real time. We are understanding the video, we're basing it on the transcript, we're analyzing it, and we are generating and extracting all the core elements that you need to determine for a piece of content like this to be able to go viral. I'll take a quick pause while this is generating. How many credits does it normally take to run this analysis? That's a great question. It's all going to depend on the length of the video and the amount of copy that's generating, right? So for example, one of these cards potentially might be maybe about 1.5 credits, right? This is a rough estimation. So if you think about maybe 1.5 credits per card, The transcript of the video is pretty short. So, you know, all in all, it shouldn't be too bad. My best guess is probably 10 to 15 credits, but we could probably do some work and see what that looks like in here. So what do? We took this video. It's one person on screen. She's talking about how to go viral on social media. While she's on social media, you see her putting on makeup. They have little text on screen, different things, right? Now, we are not analyzing the visual right now. Right now, we are purely focused on the script and the hook. That's what we want to focus on right now. The visual elements could make an impact. So I want everyone to take that into mind as we are analyzing what we've got here. First things first is we break down the score, right? It's an 85 out of 100. If you're just looking for a quick number to understand like, hey, is this in the right balance? Do I have something that could potentially take off? That's one of the first things you want to take a look at. And this breaks it down onto 4 key pieces within the structure of the video. The hook strength got a 22 out of 25. The content structure got a 21 out of 25. The audience resonance, which is the 20 out of 25. And the unique value inside of the video, which is a 22 out of 25. And so this scored overall an 85 out of 100. Now, potentially the score could have gone up because of what she's doing in the video, right? So the footage, the action, the quick takes inside of the video, again, we're not judging that. That would have probably brought this up closer to like a 95 because that video did go viral. It hit over almost 1 million views if you take a look at what that looked like. What's great about this is that this serves as one to show you high level the score and how good this piece of content potentially may spread when you post this up online. But at the second piece, which is so important, is that it teaches you what was good and about it, and it shows you, it evaluates it, the evidence, and the improvement suggestion. So if we talk about the hook strength, the opening lines are attention grabbing, using blunt honesty and a strong curiosity gap to pull the audience in. So the evidence was, this is how you go viral on social media, except I'm being brutally honest. She's pretty much saying that everybody's lying. She's telling you the truth, right? So that draws the person in. That's like the first 3 seconds of the video, which pulls them in. And again, I don't care how great the rest of your video is and how much value is in the rest of your video. If you don't nail the hook, your video is not going to perform as well as it can. And in here, it talks about a suggestion improvement, right? So add a specific example or visual cue in the first few seconds to further enhance the hook. Now, again, like I mentioned, this doesn't have that. So you want to take this with a grain of salt because it's not looking at the visual cue. But that's what you want to make sure you're doing inside of your video. This covers the content structure. It talks about the audience resonance. So if I just talk about the content structure, the narrative flows well. It's offering clear and actionable advice in a logical sequence. If we talk about the audience, the language is relatable and resonates with creators aiming to improve their content. She nailed it, right? The unique value, right? The advice is practical and stands out with its direct, no-nonsense delivery. We got the value out of it. And at the bottom, it gives you the recommendations for improvement. This is high level. This is giving you now the virality score for each piece of content. Now, the next part I want to move into is the viral video analyzer. This is where we're going to break down the video in depth. This is like, hey, you are trying to learn either I found this awesome viral video. It's great. It's related to my market, but I want to break it down. I want to understand what made that content work, right? And this is purely educational and also strategy so that you can plan out what your next piece of content is going to look like. And so in this case, the first thing it starts off with is the hook. It started with a bold statement. This is how you go viral on social media, except I'm being brutally honest, right? We just covered that. The main points, right? It covers the hook attention, the content focus, the authenticity, the energy that she drives inside of it, and the consistency. The second piece we look at is like, all right, well, let's take it from a different lens. Why are people sharing it? Right? You have to think about why people are sharing it. The reason why I say this is because, for example, you don't want a video that just people watch and then disappears. You want a video that somebody watches and sends that to their friend, because that amplifies and that multiplies the amount of people that are going to get access to your content. And I'll give you an example. Instagram, they prioritize direct messages that you are sending to your friends and family. Okay. So if I watch a video on Instagram and you click that send button, or I click that send button and I send that to someone else, they track that as engagement with the video. And they want to know how many times that piece of content, not that it was just reposted or somebody liked it or somebody watched it. They want to know how many times that it prompted that person to direct message that to another person on Instagram. And the more DMs that it has, the better it is. And so this is why why people are sharing it is so important, because these different platforms take it and it affects the algorithm, right? In this case, it was relatable and useful, and it provided actionable tips while addressing those common frustrations, like whether it was boring, self-centered content. And the humor and the honesty, it made it engaging. So the advice appealed to creators looking to grow their audience. So these are different things that you want to take a look at to make sure that your content can spread and go out to wider audiences. The third piece is a simple template for similar content, right? So what we wanted to do was break it out like, all right, what was the template that was used for this piece of content? And the first step, it's 4 steps or 4 pieces. You started with a bold hook that promises the value and challenges conventional thinking. Number 2, deliver quick and actionable tips with examples or stories to make it relatable. Show personality by using humor, energy, or honesty. Guys, not everybody is funny. If humor is not your thing, you don't have to add humor to it. You could just be brutally honest, or it's your energy, or it's your character, okay? And that's totally fine. I'm not funny either. I tell, good dad jokes, but the good part is what I think. I don't know what my daughter thinks, right? So you just have to be able to use your own personality on whatever it is and let that resonate inside of your content, right? And the fourth one is ending with motivation or a challenge to be able to encourage action. That action could be whatever it is that you think is important. And again, we could break that out. So after we analyze this and we're like, hey, well, this video is awesome. This would actually relate to my audience. Let me get 5 new hook ideas for new topics. And so I want to show you how this could work in practice. Here's one. Stop doing this one thing if you want to grow your audience. That's a hook. The second one, the secret to desired outcome no one tells you about, right? Why your specific effort isn't working and how to fix it. And just to make sure I'm clear, desired outcome, you want to fill in the blank. Specific effort will fill in the blank. This is what fill in the blank successful person or group does differently. This is what real estate lawyers do differently. If you were to try to relate that to a something, this is what podcasters do differently. You could specify how this does. And the last one is like brutally honest advice about topic. Brutally honest advice about how to lose 10 pounds in 5 days. These are just examples of hooks related to different topics that you can use. The other thing we do as part of this are like quick writing tips. So if you're thinking like, well, if I'm going to draft a script or I'm going to record a video based on kind of how this one performed, how would that work? And here are some quick tips, right? Use short paragraphs and sentences to keep it snappy. Number 2, write in a casual conversational language. It's like you're talking to a friend. Make sure you're talking to the person on the other side. It's almost like sometimes when you're writing a script, like open up, let's say a iMessage chat or open up an email, like you're emailing somebody directly and write it there. And by doing that, you'll be able to tailor it a little bit more like you're talking to that person so that it can come off that way. The other one's like be direct and avoid filler phrases. Perfect. Add examples or visuals to illustrate your points. Keep the tone authentic and energetic. What's great about this is that this analyzer breaks it all for you. You don't have to do the work. If you saw, it probably took me 2 minutes by the time that I copied the link, put that into Alphana. It imported the video, transcribed it, analyzed it with AI. We've spent no more than like 2 to 3 minutes in doing that. And then here gives you ideas on tweaking it for different platforms like TikTok or YouTube. We give examples now for other topics. So if you're like, hey, I like this video, but I want to do my own version of it for a different, we kind of break that down. Fitness, cooking, personal finance, parenting, travel. Let's pick out one like cooking, right? The easiest way to make dish taste amazing. Simple techniques or ingredients to improve flavor would be the main points that you want to cover. Or if it's personal finance, 3 mistakes that's keeping you broke. And in this case, you would do practical tips to save money or budget better. Or hey, let's do parenting. Maybe a lot of us go through this, right? The hook. Stop doing this if you want your kids to listen. I would watch that. And then here you talk about the relatable struggles and actionable advice for better communication. So these are all examples for what you could do to help improve that content, or if you're trying to steal a strategy and see content that's already performing well. And the last part on it was the secret sauce. The key is relatability, authenticity, and value. Speak directly to your audience's struggles or goals and offer practical advice they could use immediately. Keep it fun, energetic, and visually engaging to make it shareable across all platforms. So this is a very, very powerful tool. You've got the Virality Score, you've got the Viral Video Analyzer. Now let's go a little bit deeper into the hook, okay? We have a new card, AI card, called the Viral Hook Decoder. What it's going to do, it's going to analyze the video and steal the hook. It's going to tell you, if you don't know what the hook was inside of a video, you don't need to know. I want you to know, and hopefully you learned after the session, but grab that link, a YouTube video, or upload your own, and it's going to decode and tell you what the hook is. And then it's going to break it down to tell you what makes it effective and give you fill in the blank hook template so that you could use it for your own content. So the first step here is the exact hook from the viral video, right? We've already covered this. This is how you go viral on social media, except I'm being brutally honest. there's your hook. So let's dive into it a little bit more. Breakdown of what made this hook effective. Again, apologies if it's a little bit repetitive, but it always brings it into a different pace of how you could see this, and it gives it to you in a different way. So the first one was direct and bold statement. It immediately promises a valuable insight, like how you go viral, while being refreshingly honest. I have to take a pause here, okay? Do not do clickbait. Do not put in your video and say, I'm going to reveal something that's so incredible, you're going to be mind blown if you just watch all the way to the end. That does not work. What is the insight and the value that you are promising to the person that's going to watch your video? What are they going to get about it? Your hook should have that. It shouldn't be generic, okay? Like in this case, literally, they told you, I'm going to show you how to go viral on social media, except I'm going to be brutally honest. It's clear. So if I want to watch this video because I want to go viral, I'm going to keep watching the video. But guess what? If I don't care about creating content, I don't care about going viral, I'm going to drop off. And that's okay. Because what you don't want is somebody to start watching your video, and by the middle of the video, they realize that was not the video that they wanted, and they drop off. Because guess what? YouTube and other platforms like Instagram are going to take that as drop-offs. And you don't want that, because that's going to affect the algorithm, and it's going to affect how it's going to show your content to other people. Okay? So it's really important that the people that you drive to your videos are people who are most likely going to stay till the end and watch it, because it is something that's going to drive value to them. And again, value could be anything. It could be an insight. It could be educational. It could be humor. You know, if they're in that video to just have a good laugh or to be entertained, that's okay too, right? But again, the hook is very important. The second piece, emotional trigger. The phrase brutally honest sparks curiosity, making viewers wonder what unconventional truth will be revealed. We covered that already. That's a huge piece to it. Relatability addresses a common goal, going viral. That resonates with a broad audience. Beautiful. And the fourth point was urgency and intrigue. The conversational tone feels personal, and it compels the viewer to keep watching. So here we put together a fill in the blank template. We took that hook and we filled it in. This is how, and here's the fill in the blank, achieve a specific goal, except I'm being, and then fill in the blank, emotionally charged descriptor. So if you fill in the blank of this template, this will allow you to be able to now use it for your own content. I can't tell you enough. When you find a hook that works and it went viral, use it. Okay? All you need to do is replace a few keywords, but that hook will work. Okay? That is the trick. You see all the content that's being posted on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. When you see it working, figure out what's working about it and use it for your business. How do we do that? How does this look like for other topics? What's great about this card, the decoder, is that it doesn't just give you the example. It breaks it down into multiple topics so you can see what this exact hook looks like in different use cases. So I'm going to read a few. Number one, this is how you build a six-figure business, except I'm being brutally honest. Or number two, this is how you lose weight fast, except I'm being totally real with you. Boom. I could have said that better, but that's how it's written. This is how you master coding, except I'm not sugarcoating anything. Number four, this is how you ace your job interview, except I'm being 100% honest. Or this is how you save money every month, except I'm not holding back. This is how you write a bestseller, except I'm giving you the raw truth. This is how you crush your fitness goals, except I'm being completely upfront. This is how you simplify tech in your life, except I'm giving you the real deal. This is how you fix your sleep schedule, except I'm being unapologetically honest. And number 10, this is how you build confidence, except I'm keeping it real. This is 10 different ways to use the same exact hook, but just changing minor keywords to adapt to what your industry and what you're talking about. In these sessions, I want to teach as much as possible. I want you to learn and see how we can decode what works with your content. I know the title of all this is about viral, but when we talk about viral, it's just how do we make your content better to resonate with more audiences? How do we get it to be shared to more people? If your average view count's like 2 to 3 views and I can get that to 50, that had some virality in it. That's an improvement. Or 100, right? Imagine if you got up in a room and had to speak in front of 100 people. That's amazing, right? It's not always about getting 1 million views, but if you have 100 targeted people who are enjoying your content, or 50, it doesn't matter the number. We want to make sure it can resonate and it captures the audience and we aren't putting people to sleep.